Baker Mayfield officially traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 2024, essentially is a 5th round pick from what I've seen. And the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers are going to play Dutch on said contract for Baker and split it. I'm not sure if it's down the middle, but some form or fashion there, the Cleveland Browns will be taking on a portion of his contract.
You want to hear it?
So talk about it.
Panthers will pay $4.85 million.
Okay.
Browns will pay $10.5 million. And I don't know how this is going to work out, and if this goes against an NFLPA type of thing.
I'm listening to the numbers you just said. I'm
right.
Like, hold on, bro.
It says Mayfield is just taking a pay cut. Mayfield agreed to convert the remainder of his $18.8 million into incentives. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay, I was like, where did $4 million go, man? Like, we short.
That's what it is. Because where I was reading this elsewhere, they were saying that he was just going to forego the rest of the money. But if it's converted into incentives.
That makes okay.
Because I'm like, there's no way the union would be cool with that.
Not at all.
Just forfeiting a couple million is
Baker
every
be cool with that. Like, I'm
right.
just, hey, man, don't worry about them $4 million. Just throw them away. Like, nah, not at all, man.
But those are the numbers. Browns will still pay $10.5 million.
How you feel about it, man?
The numbers, trade overall, because they traded a 5th round pick, could go up to a 4th depending on how much Mayfield's playing.
That's the conditional part of it, yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
from outside of all the on-field stuff or the numbers, a little sad. Because I actually feel like Baker and the Browns were meant for each other.
It did feel right. I ain't gonna lie. I was with you.
It's a little sad. It's a little sad. Right. Kind of wanted the dumpster fire to continue one way or another. Even with them bringing in Deshaun Watson. It would have been great if somehow Baker Mayfield was still on their roster throughout this training camp, throughout this offseason, all the questions surrounding it.
Think about this. Even when they were successful in the Baker, it still felt weird. It still felt like, this is like love.
Oh, because we smoked them all the time.
Absolutely.
Too.
So it was like a weird dynamic. But yeah, I'm with you, man. It felt right. It felt like he belonged there, man.
Yeah, because you see Baker in the Panthers jersey with all these jersey swaps that are popping out right now. It doesn't look right. Baker looks right in the Browns jersey.
Yes.
Even outside of his personality, how it fits with the Browns, all the dysfunction, how he's always chirping at the media, causing a stir. That worked, but also he just looked like a Brown.
He looked like a Brown. Looked like a Brown.
So I'm a little bummed out with that, but with the trade, Panthers are a mess.
Bro, they got overkill at the quarterback. Like, listen, how you got Sam Darnold, who you already took his contract on. You drafted Matt Corral as well. And now you bring in Baker. You're paying Baker what they said, 4? Like, jeez. It's just that. What is the direction that they're trying to go right there? Because Baker's on an expiring contract. This is final year of that deal.
Same with
Sam Darnold, same concept. So I'm like, who are you trying to evaluate? Who are you giving this opportunity to? Is this a legit competition where you're going to be fine with Sam Darnold sitting with as much money as you've guaranteed him by picking up that 5th-year option? I just don't think that works for him, man.
I think with the Panthers, really doesn't hurt them at all, though. They're only going to be paying almost $5 million to Baker. And as you just said, it's an expiring, so they're not committed to him long-term or anything.
It's just craziness, man.
I guess it's just a tryout between two really high first-round picks. And Matt Rule, this could be his last-ditch effort to try to keep his job. If he could resurrect either one of them for this season and get them to like 8-8.
Or if he can use Matt Corral.
Yeah, whatever it is. I think this is just more of a last-ditch effort for Matt Rule, and I don't really blame him for it. I got to assume, though, if you're trading for Baker, he's starting for you.
You think so?
I think he should. I think he's better than Darnold.
I think he's better than Darnold, but it's a lot of money that's going to Darnold.
That's true, too. But could you see a scenario where they just cut Darnold and don't really care as much about the money? Care a little bit more about roster chemistry?
I don't think, man, that's a lot of money. That's kind of how when we let AB walk, when we cut AB and we were on the hook for the $20 million afterwards. Like, see what
I guess here's my question.
See how much his hit is, though. Let's do that.
Sure. Well, here's my other question then. Is someone trading for Darnold?
Nah.
So
you think about how hard it was to trade for Baker.
Yeah.
And we both would think, I think this is a clear, like, Baker has been a better quarterback than Darnold. I feel like we're all on the same page with that thought process. But yeah,
his dead cap's $18 million. $18 million cap hit as well. So, if you cut him, But, I mean, if Baker wins out, he's just your backup anyway.
Right.
But I guess that's
Do you feel
more valuable. I don't know, though. I mean, do you want a guy like Darnold who probably views himself in the same light as Baker as your backup? Or would you rather just have the younger guy there
Matt
where
Corral.
there might not be any dissension? Could be a similar scenario with us with Mitch and, like, Mason, right? Like, if Mitch wins it out, I don't know if we want Mason necessarily around.
As his backup, yeah.
That's why I think you can cut Darnold even if you're going to be taking on that dead cap.
I just think this is such a weird situation, man. Like, I feel like Baker should win the job down there, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he should. I don't think that Matt Corral is going to do anything that's going to be better than what Baker is right now.
I thought he had a good chance to beat out Darnold. But now that you got Baker, I think this is a little bit different story.
Yeah. I like the fit, though, low-key. In terms of Matt Rule, I think that he could do some stuff down there. And you got the running game in terms of Christian McCaffrey. The receiver room was going to be interesting, though. Because remember, I think it was Robbie Anderson. He was the one that was very vocal about not wanting my man Baker down there. You remember when that happened, right? That was right around draft time. Oh, yeah, Baker could go to the Panthers. I remember we tweeted out. I was like,
did he?
No.
He said, hell no.
Hell no, something like that, right? Yeah.
Hold on. Robbie Anderson's old tweet about not wanting Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, there was
It's so awkward now. Let me see this. Yeah, he just said no with like
all
5 no's.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
But he was like real like, no, you don't want that dude. So that was the part where I'm like, Robbie's a good player, but that's gonna be kind of awkward.
Yeah,
and you know Baker, and you know Baker. Baker is not one. You see Baker energy, man. Baker over that thing. Hey, Robbie, you ain't getting the ball at all. You my new Odell. How about that? No.
There's no way.
Nah, he better not, bro.
There's no way. I think for both those players, like Anderson, he needs to bounce back this year.
Yeah.
And then with Baker, obviously, he really needs to bounce back. So,
but no, they're gonna be all right.
Don't make it work out. I mean, you're not gonna let that little Instagram comment be the thing that is a wedge between you guys both trying to have success and reclamating your careers. Baker a little bit more than Anderson, but I don't know. I think Anderson's been kind of overrated through most of his career.
Still a 1,000-yard receiver though.
No, he's good.
Yeah,
like he's fine.
He's
He's fine. I'm just saying, if he could get another 1,000 yards, or if he could string together some consecutive seasons that are pretty good, that'd be good for his reputation. But I'm with you in terms of I think it's an interesting scenario for Baker and some of the individual players, like someone like Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for the team because I don't see them going above 500, but could you see a world where Baker could throw 30 touchdowns down there in the Matt Rule system, having Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, to at least where he could extend his NFL career as a starter? Someone would be interested in him next offseason.
Me personally, I say yes. That's why I was saying that I think this is actually a good move for Baker in terms of the fit. I think offensively,
I think Seattle would have been better, but this works.
See, I don't agree with the Seattle thing because to me, I think that Seattle's still going to be built more on running the ball and playing defense, whereas this is going to be a system where you're going to have young, athletic receivers, playmakers, right? You're going to have a new toy, but a guy that is very similar in the sense of, hey, when you had Nick Chubb, you could turn on and give it to him. You knew you were going to be fine. Well, now you're going to be able to do it, but multifaceted. You can hand it off or just dumping it to him out the backfield. You're going to get that option, that luxury as well. So I think the biggest thing that Baker's going to have to come to grips with, though, is the O-line is going to be drastically different for him. Cleveland, when they were healthy, he was going to have time. He was going to be protected. Carolina, that has not been the case. Now they're trying to revamp it and stuff like that, but I think that's going to be a little challenge for him. But also, when you're just talking about the difference of divisions as well, NFC South, I mean, it's good. We're not going to get it twisted here, but I just think it's going to be a different style of football that he's going to be facing down there compared to what he's accustomed to in the AFC North.
Okay, so you're saying easier.
Yes. Not easy in the sense of like, oh, it's super easy, but it's different.
Different brand of football.
They play
it might be better for his stats.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it will be better for his stats because you're not facing a Baltimore twice a year. You're not facing a Pittsburgh twice a year. Bro, those defenses kill you. Like, literally kill you. And then Cincinnati, they've gotten good. So it's like, it's just a different vibe, a different element. Whereas I think for him, and the NFC South, it's just like I said, it's a different style of football they play. It's still going to be good ball, but it's different.
Yeah. So with Seattle, I guess what we're saying is like it's flipped. I think with Seattle, he would have had a better chance of winning, but I think you're right.
He would definitely win more in Seattle.
Wouldn't probably be as good to where I don't know.
I think he'll have nice stats in Carolina. I don't know how much they're going to win in Carolina, but I think we'll look at him and say, you know what, he's still a QB1. Whereas if he was in Seattle, I think he would win, but we would all just be looking and saying, oh man, he's an upgrade over Geno. He's not really Russ.
He's still a
game
game manager.
And he fits that system. That's it. Yeah.
Now, here's the next question. Well, I guess there's a few here. One is, what do the Browns do at quarterback now? Because I'm hearing some rumors.
Hey, right.
Hear this out. Jimmy G. one year contract.
to Cleveland? Bro, that would be the highest paid quarterback room ever. Like, son, no way. I mean, I don't hate it, but no way. I don't see it happening, man.
There's so many mixed reports out there now about Deshaun Watson.
Because I see it's like, oh, he could get suspended for the season. He could get suspended 6 games, 4 games, no suspension at all. Or they're going to give him the suspension, but then they're going to appeal it down to like super light. Yeah. Because then that's always like, oh, he only settled, but the settlement was probably a little gentleman's agreement with the NFL to make this thing go away, to hush everybody up. And it's like, yo, I've seen all these different theories going around and stuff, man. And the NFL's been saying since last week that they were going to have a decision, or they are finishing up the litigation or whatever they were doing. They're, because they hold it court like it's real court, but it's like it's not their court, it's NFL court, which is not real court, but in this situation is real. So yeah.
What about Jimmy G though? Because there's talks now about trading him.
Yeah.
Where does he fit? I mean, the Browns would make sense.
I mean, it would.
Just from that standpoint, because I don't think he's going to get traded to Seattle. You don't trade within division like that. Unless you get a king's ransom. You got to make Seattle pay the premium.
Seattle they got a nice little package for Russ. So if they want to flip it, they could.
I mean, we could go through the teams.
Yeah, I don't see San Fran. Yeah, you're not trading him in the division. No. Unless you feel like your quarterback is better. If you feel like Trey Lance is definitively better and you're not worried about him, that's one move. But I don't think San Fran is convinced of that just yet.
Cardinals, no. Falcons, no. Not with Mariota and Ritter.
Yeah.
Panthers, no. Bears, Fields, no.
Colts, no.
Ravens, no. Bills, no. Bengals, no.
Dolphins, no.
Browns, like I said, questionable.
Chicago, no. Denver, no. Houston, no. Detroit, maybe.
Detroit, maybe. I guess.
Green Bay, no. LA, no. LA, no. Jacksonville, no. Minnesota, nah.
Giants, I think you'd rather just see what you got in Daniel Jones.
Yeah, same with Philly. In New England, maybe. Reunited.
No, Mac Jones. No way.
You liking Mac? Oh,
no
man.
way.
Mac he's average, bro. He's capped, man. Come on.
No. He's thinned out a little bit, too. Best shape of his career. Dude, I mean, Washington, you're looking through these teams. Tennessee,
Washington just got Carson Wentz. Jets,
Tampa Bay,
Zach
he could sit behind Brady for a year if he wants.
They still got Kyle Trask that they drafted it last year. Was it end of the first round or first pick of the second round, whatever it was? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. I mean, maybe the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's connection, 49ers.
There's no way you can do that after you vouch for Tua.
Yeah, you can't do that. But that would have made sense connection-wise. No, that's what I mean. That's why Browns actually low-key could make sense. Just to have some insurance, because Jimmy G doesn't have any harsh feelings against Cleveland right now. It was the Baker scenario. That's what caused him to get traded.
The problem is, Jimmy G is a quarterback 1 in the NFL. He feels that he's a franchise quarterback. I wouldn't go that far, but he's a QB1. I just think it's a different dynamic when you're talking Jacoby Brissett playing this role with Deshaun Watson and him ultimately saying, hey, Deshaun is yours whenever you come back, versus a Jimmy G taking that approach. Because you bring in Jimmy G think he's the guy. He didn't been to a Super Bowl. He didn't led his team to 2 NFC championships. He's won one of them already. He feel like he's stamped and solidified. He done won on the road, postseason, big winner, you name it. So you bring him in and Deshaun Watson ends up getting 6 games or 4 games. Now you got these, little awkward day-to-day dynamic.
I guess the only
and it's
way
going to be expensive. It's because you're paying big money for both of these dudes on top of that.
I guess the only way it would work is if you know for a fact that Deshaun Watson is suspended the full season.
Yes.
Then you make the trade.
Yeah. But do you think the NFL would allow Cleveland to know that now, since Cleveland structured his first year contract the way that he did?
They're gonna have to let him know at some point.
But I'm saying, like, in the sense of
I don't know
trade,
when.
like, because when I'm thinking of this trade happening, if that was the case for Jimmy G, you would want him before training camp, right, or right when training camp is started. And what I'm saying is, if we don't even know when we're gonna get this ruling, is it before training camp? Is it during training camp? Is it the beginning of training camp? The end of training camp? We don't know. So if you're Cleveland, you would kind of be on the hook just having to wait around to see, hey, man, when, how long. But if you're wanting Jimmy G to be the guy, then you would need to have him in here for that. So what I'm saying is, because of how the reports have come out now, too, that the NFL was pissed off with how Cleveland structured the contract, with the first year being only $1 million in base salary, everything else is signing bonus. So if they suspend him for the season, he's only going to lose $1 million. That's it. Everything else he's going to find. He's good. He's getting that. So when the NFL found that out, though, they were upset about it. So what I'm saying is, they could easily say, well, we're not going to tell you this right now. We're going to wait and take our time with this decision and kind of make you be in this purgatory of quarterback right now. That's what I was saying.
I could see it from that side. I could also see it from NFL just wants to get this out of the way and over with as soon as possible.
I would hope they would. I mean, especially when the legal system on multiple occasions now has said, hey, we're done with it. We don't want anything to deal with it. This is the NFL right now. They're the ones that's kind of keeping it going. So we shall see.
What about this wrinkle? Week 1 of the NFL season. You know who plays?
I think Carolina and Cleveland, right? I know they playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's hilarious. I hope Deshaun is there for that game. It would make it just that much more awesome.
Hold on. I got to see where this is at. Is this at the Dog Pound or is this
awesome? If it's in
Carolina?
Cleveland, it's epic. If it's in Cleveland, we low-key need to tune in.
Let me see real quick. I mean, this is pretty sure a 1 o'clock game. It's at Carolina. 1 o'clock game.
Come see me at my new house with my new friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Deshaun Watson's there, obviously there's way more storylines and stuff. Even if he's not, I mean.
Yeah, I like playing there too, man. Like, not Cleveland. Carolina's a nice little stadium, bro.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Even if Watson's not there, I feel like it's still big.
No, without a doubt.
This is Baker saying, oh, yeah, this is what you get for moving on from me. Either way.
And it's going to be a ton of that. Ton of flexing. You know how he do. Yeah.
Should Baker keep doing that type of stuff? He needs to move on.
No,
he needs to chill.
Be you, man. Be you. They're going to judge you regardless. They're going to have an opinion on you regardless. If he stops it, they're going to say, oh, man, he fake now, man. He just conformed for the masses. Oh, man, I don't like him anymore. I liked him better when he was just him. Now he's a cookie cutter like everybody else. They're going to say something regardless.
No, I'm talking about some of the. And you could be confident,
man.
I'm talking about some of the extreme stuff.
They're going to say something regardless. If he does it and he wins, when he was at Oklahoma and he planted the flag, everybody loved it because he was winning. If he was winning in Cleveland a lot more consistently, nobody would have any issue with it. That's all. You know that, man. Come on, baby. You know this. Brady running up and down the field, getting in dudes' faces. No one says anything about that. Why? Because he wins.
Bro, but you know he's not doing anything extra. Brady's not doing anything like disrespectful.
Brady in the Super Bowl ran up on my man. Are we serious? To the point where the NFL now had to change and say, hey, man, you cannot do this, guys. This is a no-no, all right?
I think it was good on both sides. I think it was clean trash talk on both sides.
So now it's good on both sides. Why? Because the Super Bowl, they were winning.
Dude, am I wrong in saying that's different? That's different than Baker doing the flag plant in the middle of the field.
How's that
That's different. I mean,
they're both extremes. They're both.
No.
I'm trying to show you up to the highest degree. Brady ran 20 yards, old man, just to get in my man's face to give him something. Are we serious? At least Baker waited till all the players left the field before he planted the flag. Brady
No, I like that because that's in the flow of the game. That's in your face. I like that.
I just want Baker to keep being Baker. That's what I like. If you a trash talker, trash talk it up. Just back it up. That's it.
Man, anything else with this trade? I mean, we knew something was happening at some point.
Yeah.
It's between pretty much Carolina and Seattle.
So I guess final thing, do we both, or do you feel that Darnold will be on the roster then by week 1? Or do you think they move him?
They're going to try. I think they're going to try.
Okay.
Especially if Baker beats him out.
So then,
I don't know who's taking him.
I was going to say, if we couldn't figure out the Jimmy G landing spots, what are the Sam Darnold landing spots? Or are we viewing him as a QB2 then?
Backup
Okay.
Role.
So then he's open anywhere then.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. He is just there in case your quarterback gets hurt. Maybe if you have an older quarterback like the Colts, maybe you have him as a backup in case Ryan retires next year.
I could even see Atlanta potentially, man, if you wanted to just bring in a more traditional style quarterback, since Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota are more of like your hybrid athletes at quarterback.
Tampa Bay, have him learn under Brady. It's just
I still don't
people
like
are not going to give up much
yeah.
for Darnold, especially with that $18 million.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to do something like this where you are paying $15 million of the 18 and the other team is taking on $3 million of that, and they're giving up like a 7th-round pick. That's the only way I see it makes sense, really.
Yeah.
And it's just probably more beneficial for you to get him off the roster. That's why I think cutting could be an option.
Bro, that's a lot. That's a big pill to swallow, especially on a franchise that needs players. It's not like they feel like, because think about when we did the whole move with AB, we still felt like we had a legitimate roster. We could still be fine, even though we knew, man, 20 mil was just gonna be wasting away. If you're Carolina, you're not feeling that way with the 18 mil. You're like, bro, you know who we could have in here, what we could be doing with these pieces if we had 18. Like, that's just, I don't know, man. But like you said, the alternative,
you're still paying the 18.
Yeah, the alternative is you keep him. Yeah,
you're still paying the 18 to him, and he's backing up Baker.
But at least you feel like, you know, if something would have happened, I at least get to use that invest. I used to get to use the 18, run you back out there. Now, granted, it's probably gonna suck, but at least go out there.
Yeah, I'd probably just rather run out Matt Corral, see what the rookie got at that point. Like if Baker's hurt, your season's probably done anyway.
Yeah.
See what Corral's got. See if he could spark things up. Maybe get the fans excited.
We shall see. We shall see.